Hey guys, it's Mick here and welcome to Falcon. On today's episode, we're going to continue reassembling our interior, which means that it's almost time to put these seats back into this car. So I've gone out in my spare time and got some quotes on what it's going to cost to retrim the seats, and it's going to cost quite a lot of money, more than I expected. So apparently we're looking at somewhere around the $3,400 mark to have brand new front and rear seats made for this car, which means until we can afford to do so, the seats we got are going to do just fine. I'm going to spend a little bit of time in this episode cleaning up the rails to make sure that they function correctly, making sure that our back supports operate correctly and can adjust with relative ease. We don't want them to be stiff and rigid while we're in the car or when other people have to get in the car and sit in these seats. The other thing I'll probably do is I'll probably give them a quick clean and chuck some more of that vinyl rejuvenated stuff on these seats to bring them back to life a little bit, just so they can get us through until the point we can afford to get them made brand new again. So I'm going to set them up on this table I've made, ready to do this. I'll take you guys through it. You can watch me muck around with these and free them up, lube them up, and get them in working order. We'll make sure that our mounting bolts are correct as well. We had a couple of issues removing the seats where the bolt heads were spinning in the bottom of the rails. So we'll investigate that further and make sure that's tidied up before I try and put them in and bolt them up so they'll have no dramas. Check it out. Okay, seat number one. This is our driver's seat. And to be honest with you, the rails don't look to be in that bad a condition. They seem quite clean. My biggest concern about this seat is this bolt here and a couple of the other ones. There's a plate here that's supposed to lock the top of the bolt in place so that once you put the seat in, you can do it up from underneath the car. And it should only require one person to do this. So as you can see, you can't spin this one here. You can't spin this one here, although a little bit of movement, probably a little bit too much. You can't spin this one here. This one here can spin freely. And that is because this plate inside here has forced itself apart when the nut's been seized on this thread. Now, because we've spun the nuts off of all these threads, they've actually cleaned up all right. I may still run a wire wheel down them just to be 100% confident they're going to go in okay. But looking at this mechanism and these rails, they don't appear to be in too bad a condition. So it appears that you operate your seat like this and then your rails should slide. That's actually sliding quite free. It's a little bit stiff towards the end. So if I do this other side here, we'll have a look. Right, so that's definitely a bit stiffer. I can see there's a bit of grease residue in there. Probably the first thing we're going to do here with these seats is I'm going to get the compressed air in there and I'm going to blow any dirt and grit out of them to free them up. And then we're just going to lube them up with a little bit of CRC and make sure we can get them to slide nicer. But in all fairness, they're probably not that bad. It appears to be in adjustment. Yeah, still a bit stiff. So let's see if we can free them up. I'm quite happy with that. They're actually moving really well. These ones they started off in great condition, which we're fortunate. I might try and now just clamp this plate back down on this bolt so that when I put it in, I can do it up by myself under the car. That appears to move quite freely. I think I'll just put a little bit of CRC in there just to make sure it's lubed up, and then this seat will be ready for a wash. So if you are wondering, this is actually a really, really light bristled brush. And so it's not abrasive at all on the vinyl itself, but it does work quite well to get a lot of the grease and the grime back off of it. The seats come up pretty nicely. I'm going to give it a wipe. I'm going to spray it with some of the vinyl revival, and then we're going to spin the seat around into the front of it. With this vinyl revival stuff, I don't wipe it completely off. It seems that if you leave it a little bit moist, it soaks into the vinyl and it tends to bring it back softer, which is what these seats need because they are quite dry at the base. Now this is the seat that I had the most trouble removing, and that is because most of the bolts spin. They spin freely. You can actually see on the end of the threads where it was rusty and the nuts had gotten stuck, and they've just spun the top of these bolts out of the brackets that are meant to hold them still. So we will mend all of these brackets and get them tight again on these bolts, and I might just dress these threads up with a wire brush before I try and install them. But first, let's just have a look at how well it slides. Okay, so that one's got a spring on it, which I didn't notice our front seat was missing. And I think because of that spring, it actually slides really well. Safe to say the same for this side, but we'll still clean them out and lube them up. Have a look at this once stripped interior finally starting to take shape. As you can see, we've got all our trim pieces, the new carpet is in, the dash got a good clean while we were cleaning the rest of the car, and I'm about to chuck in front seat. So all the holes line up in the carpet, which is a great start. I've cleaned up the threads, I've cleaned up the nuts to go on the bottom of it. I'll put a little bit of CRC on the threads as well, just to make sure our nuts go on nice and easy. And I'll tighten them up with the ratchet so I can feel if there is anything on the thread that's going to stop this from going on smooth, because we want to prevent any issues from when we need to remove the seats in the future. So here we go. Take a look at this, guys. Our front seats are in, they are secure, and they are fully operational. In just a moment, we're going to move into the back of the car. I've already put the backrest of the back seat in and the seat belts. Done that off camera, but we can finalise and just put the base of the seat in. You guys can watch that. And then once that's done, that'll be all our seats in the car, and we can move on to the door trims.
Okay guys, that's all we've got for you for today's episode. The good news is all of our seats are in. The good news is we've got to put our door cards in next. So follow the next episode where we sort out all our door cards. We're going to tidy them up a bit. Some of them are a bit damaged, but once they're all up to a satisfactory standard, we're going to go ahead and throw them in the car. So stay tuned.